Alright, so I finally made it back. Took me a bit longer than I expected. I tried to fly the drone around and it just was not cooperating. That was a good half hour wasted right there. Anyway, got back to this hole. So as I said before, I suspect that the second, because I dug out from a little spot just up there, and then that was the second spot I had to go at first. And when I took the bucket out, all the good gold was on top and not much down the bottom, so I'm assuming that's where the good gold came from. It's not hard to see why. Big rock there and it just drops off. But I've pretty much worked that out now. It's all hard rock around there. I've really got in there with a pick. And it thins up around this end, so I think I got as much as I could out of there, maybe a quarter of that mass. Got out of that one, but then moved up to these little ones along here, so cleaned that out. That one there looks quite nice. Now it is sort of in line with the stream, so not, in theory, not ideal, especially compared to something like this guy, which is going across the stream. But it's the lowest point, so, you know, gold tends to find the lowest point, and the bottom of that little ridge is quite rough, and there's riffly type riffles at the bottom of that. So I'm hoping there will be a fair bit of gold in there. So now I've got another half a bucket there. Again, that's pretty much as I can carry, long distances. So yeah, this little guy and the remains of that one. Now to drive back to the waterhole. Okay, so first pan in, made it back to our water source, and first pan in again. We've started off fairly strong. So not a lot, but that little chunk there, quite nice. Another little bit of a picker. It's a bit flatter, that one, but size-wise, you cannot argue with that. So I think I made the right decision in going back to that, well, abandoning that first hole and going back to that second hole, and even taking that long, thin one that worked, that was sort of in line with the stream. I think that was a good decision too, because we haven't even got to the stuff which is at the bottom of that bucket, which will be the stuff from that first productive hole. So, I'm pretty excited to see what's in here. Alright, wish me luck. Okay, so bucket number 2's done. That one, as you saw, you know, I showed you that first pan again, and that one came out fantastic with that nice little piece in there. Second one down as well had a nice little piece in there, but the rest of them just had a bunch of smaller pieces. So, you know, same thing with this bucket as the first bucket. You know, first couple of pans were absolute rip snorters, and then it sort of diminished and diminished and diminished. So I don't know. All I can do is keep at it, and I think, you know, if I keep hitting that spot, eventually I'm going to get a real clunker. Although again, I don't want to diminish that one I got in the second pan, or from the first bucket anyway. That nice clunker. I mean, we'll show you it all when I get back, but so far we're doing okay for basically one full bucket, because they were 2 half buckets. I mean, if you were doing that kind of gold anywhere else, you'd be absolutely laughing, but the whole fact that I have to drive like 10 minutes to find water is a bit of a pain. So honestly, I don't know how many more buckets I'm going to do. Maybe 1, maybe 2 more, because, you know, I've got to drive home and all that kind of stuff, so I don't want to be here too late. But yeah, I'm pretty happy so far. Next one might be the winner. Alright, leave it with me. Alright, so just looked at the time, and it's about 2 p.m. now. So I kind of wanted to leave at about 2 p.m. and get home by about 5 p.m. That leaves me enough time to you know, like relax in the evening and stuff like that. So and edit the video and stuff before work tomorrow. But considering I've only done 2 buckets, I can't leave it at that, and they haven't been too bad either. So decided to come back for one more. So came to this little spot here, moved downstream again. The last spot I did was maybe about there on the creek where my finger is in front of that. Each time I've probably moved down about 50 meters. I mean, I could easily keep going in the same spot, but I may as well just keep poking around. It's my first time here. I think I'm definitely going to be coming back here because this has worked out well. But yeah, so this one I'm going to have a go of just down in between these sort of big rocks. Again, the water's coming down this way, and there's a bit of a big rock there, and a dip in the middle. Don't know how far down it's going to go, but I had a quick hack away at it with the pick, and it's gone down maybe a hand depth. So we'll give it a crack. So time for me to start filling another bucket. Rightio, another bucket ready to go. I gotta say, it's so frustrating only being able to fill that much up and then knowing I have to leave the hole like that. But anyway, that's the hole. Ended up going down about 25, almost 30 centimetres, which is a good sign. Again, nice sheer drop off there between this big boy and that. Material looked good. Hit a couple of patches where there was a lot of those heavies again. And even check this. We'll place that down there. It's a bit of quartz there. I don't know how well you can see, but that just above my finger is a piece of gold. I mean, how often do you just get to see the gold before you put it into the pan and all that kind of stuff? I mean, I'm just pulling rocks out of the ground and I'm seeing the gold here, so I really do think I've found a winner of a spot here. Feel like if I continue here, obviously finished with that bucket for today, but if I continue here in the future, I'm definitely going to get some really nice pieces to come from here, so I'm excited to see what this last bucket holds. Hopefully it'll send me home with a smile on my face. So here we are for bucket number 3. Hopefully third time's a charm. Hopefully this one sends me, makes me do a massive scream so everyone in the vicinity can hear. Anyway, let's get to it. Alright, well, fed that last bucket through, and I gotta say, that one turned out to be a bit of a dud, disappointingly. The other 2 buckets had at least couple of nice bits in there, but this one only had a bunch of small stuff, and actually got my first pan out of that one that didn't have anything in it, so definitely looks like that last spot I chose was definitely a lot worse than the first 2 that I chose. Oh well, you live and learn. But yeah, anyway, so I'm pretty much done for the day, but I thought just before I go we'll have a quick look at what I've got for the day. Well, annoyingly there's a bit of gold stuck up in that part. Anyway, yeah, so we'll have a quick look at what I've got for the day, and then once I get home I'll sort of dry it out and have a closer look, and if it's not horrible, maybe we'll weigh it up. But I suspect there's not going to be much there, maybe 1/4 gram at best. So there it is. That's our haul for the day. If it'll focus. Doesn't want to. There we go. So yeah, there's our haul for the day. Not a lot there, to be honest, but you've got to remember as well that was only 3 buckets, 20-litre buckets, half full, so about 30 litres all up for that material there. And you know, there's a couple of chunkers in there, like that one in particular. It's a nice little chunky one. Gotta love that sound. And even a couple of the other ones there, they're all kind of chunky as well. So, despite the small amount of gold there, I reckon that might weigh out to maybe 1/4 gram. 0.15 of a gram. I don't know. Get your thoughts in. Comment now before I go home and weigh it what you think that's going to weigh up to. And we'll see how close we are. I reckon I said 0.25 to 0.15, so we'll go 0.2 of a gram there. That'll be my guess. See what you guys reckon. Okie doke everyone, so yeah, I'm ready to hit the road now. 2 or 3 hour drive ahead of me, so it should be fun. At least it's a public holiday, so when I cut back past the city, it's not going to be like a million cars there, so that's always good for a change. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm looking out for a detector soon, SDC 2300. So if you know any of that are going for sale, good deal, let me know, because I'll probably be interested at least to check it out. But yeah, other than that, see you when I get home.